A one, a two, a one, two, three. So the question that underlies this whole series, what do the blues and the ragas have in common? So a couple years ago when I started to develop this idea, I'd been playing guitar for maybe 10 years or so, but I really hadn't done much of anything with the blues at all. But I found myself sitting on this grassy knoll on the corner of the Temple campus in Philadelphia with my guitar case open and a sign out. I was just trying to meet people who might want to be my students. And this one guy started hanging out there. He was new to guitar, but he was picking up Eric Clapton licks like real fast. And after we started jamming for a while, he asked me, hey, can you teach me how to be a serious blues guitarist? And I don't know what I was thinking. Probably I was thinking that I really needed the money. So I was like, yeah, I'll teach you. And I didn't have a clue how I was going to teach him. I had never really done anything with the blues at all before. I really didn't even listen to it very much. But I did have this instinct right off the bat that there was something going on with Indian music and blues music, because I had been studying Indian music with a sitar teacher in Philadelphia for the couple years prior to that, and just something clicked there for me right around that time. And so I said yes to the student, and I picked up some Stevie Ray Vaughan records and some Robert Johnson stuff, and I just started listening to it and thinking about it. And the more I listened, the more it became apparent to me that there was some kind of special connection going on here, even though these two styles of music developed a whole ocean apart. I realized that there is a deep property of musical language that connects the blues and the ragas together. And what's funny is the explanation for how this all works is really common in the East. It's really common in Asia and India and the Arab world, but it's really hard to find in the West. And that's kind of what's going to make this series special, is that I call this the Blues Raga series, but the blues isn't really a raga. It's an African-American thing. But the fact is that the blues and the ragas have enough in common that the two different genres can teach each other an awful lot. So in the end, people from kind of both sides of the aisle will probably be able to pick a lot of stuff up. This is an especially good series for beginners because this is going to give beginners a way to find the absolute simplest possible licks that are actually bluesy. It gives you a way to just boil things down to their absolute bare essentials and still have it be music, which is really great when you're just learning. For intermediate players, this is going to be really good because Indian music creates a really clear path to improvisation. I've had a lot of students who get lost kind of in the in-between phases of learning, okay, I learned all these licks, how do I turn them into real jamming? Indian music makes a really clear path to that, which is really good there. And when it comes to really advanced players, Indian music has all kinds of ways to develop these melodies so they can go on and on. It's really typical for an Indian player to jam on a melody for like a whole hour, just straight, same tune, just expanding it and expanding it. And they've all got all kinds of techniques for doing this. So for advanced guitarists, there's all kinds of techniques in this series that are going to help keep things fresh, keep things interesting, help you take things further. And for people who are Indian musicians, well, you're going to learn how to use the blues like you use everything else that you do. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I just want to make a quick note about how this relates to other lessons about the blues that you'll find on YouTube. I have watched Marty Schwartz's lessons, Justin Sandico's lessons, the Texas Blues Alley, Stevie Snack stuff. I've watched all kinds of blues lessons on YouTube, and I think they are all good. And I think you should use them in conjunction with this series. The thing about those is those are kind of coming from a Western perspective, and really, you know, the blues is more or less a Western form. The one reason I wanted to do this series is because there's some things that they often miss because they kind of don't know the Eastern perspective on melody. I've seen them all kind of struggle to describe certain things that they know intuitively but don't really have a language for because, again, in the West, there's just certain things about melodic theory that just no one ever teaches. Some people kind of figure it out in their gut, but the language of how they describe ragas has been in development for thousands of years, and so they have really sophisticated language for describing what's happening when a melody is developing and how to work with it. And I think that's one thing that this series is going to do that's unique, and that's going to give you an advantage when you're learning blues stuff. So I would say use all the other YouTube stuff you can find. This series is going to give you a unique perspective on how to talk about melodic stuff and just give you a better handle on how to take it further. That's the basic idea. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the series. I hope you have fun learning the blues. Use everything you've got. Use this, use everything else you can find. I hope this helps you along on your musical journey.